Good afternoon. We will start our presentation. Nowadays, our society is becoming elderly society as the time goes. It means that elderly people is increasing, and the percentage of people who get many kinds of disease will be increased too. High pressure, dementia, and Parkinson's disease are the examples. Today, we will focus on dementia. Most of you have heard about dementia. Many people are interested about this disease and they want to avoid. But if you didn't search information about dementia, you guys don't know much about this disease. We will explain it in detail. Don't worry about the name of complex proteins. The name is not important. I'll explain basic information. This is process of transporting signal in neuron. Neurotransmitter binds to receptor and the information is sending. Today we will cover 3 points: causes, symptoms, and treatments. In presentation, we say Alzheimer's disease as AD. Okay, I have given you some background information of dementia. And now, let's move on to diagnosis. Kyujin will talk about it.
Now I talk about the causes of AD. There are several hypotheses, but I will introduce three main hypotheses. The first one is cholinergic hypothesis. This hypothesis is the oldest hypothesis but is not supported well now. Cholinergic hypothesis proposed that the reduced synthesis of neurotransmitter with acetylcholine it leads AD. The reason why this one is not a major hypothesis of AD occurrence is the medicine which is related with acetylcholine is not effective well. The second hypothesis is about amyloid. They assume that deposition of extracellular amyloid beta leads AD. There are some evidence. First, the gene for the amyloid precursor protein is APP is located 20 the chromosome 21. So most Down syndrome patients exhibit AD by 40 years old. Second, apolipoproteins makes amyloid beta broken down, but some mutants of apolipoprotein, such as APOE4, has no effect on breaking amyloid beta. So APOE4 leads AD. The last hypothesis is tau hypothesis. They found that changes in tau protein in brain cell makes AD. When tau protein is hyperphosphorylated, tau protein can be fiber form. This fiber form of tau protein is called as neurofibrary tangle. Because they are in nervous cell body, they destroy cytoskeleton, so the neurotransport system get broken. Although there are more hypotheses such as genetical reason, I just deal with three main hypotheses. Next, Jaemin will talk about symptoms of AD.
Now I will talk about two main points about the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease: properties and time order. First, properties. The symptoms of Alzheimer's disease get worsened very slowly, and progress of the disease is various for each people. So sometimes, at the initial period of disease, people misunderstand this disease with sick, which is common to the old people. As a result, sometimes misuse of medicine because they think they have a common sick without consideration about Alzheimer's disease can make Alzheimer's disease more serious. Second, with time order. Let's look at early stage first. In this period, the main symptom is that patients can have memory loss in daily life. It is not so serious, so sometimes we do not think that patients have AD. Now let's look at next one. Patients forgot about the name of places and objects. The decrease of judgment ability is also early symptoms. In mentally, people may have depression and may have rapid mood change. These things make personal relationships hard. Now let's move on to middle stage symptoms. In this period, memory problem is getting worsened. For example, people even forgot about the self name and relatives and families and so on. And in this period, they didn't know where they are going. Losing sense of direction makes them wander around their home. So sometimes they are disappearing. In mentally, their mood is also changing very fast. From this period, some people need help, like eating, washing, and using toilet, and so on. Lastly, I will talk about the later symptoms. In this period, symptoms are really serious, and surrounding people feel tired very much. And sometimes they forgot about how to eat. This means that they cannot swallow food, and there are difficulties in moving around, loss of speech. Through the period, memory problem is the biggest problem. Patients did not know their families and relatives. And in this period, the patients need full-time care. Now, Taemin will talk about the treatments of AD.
Now I will talk about treatment of AD. We use two methods to treat AD. First is medication, and second is emotional-oriented intervention. I will talk about medication first. There are two types of medication: acetylcholinesterase inhibitors and NMDA receptor antagonists. An acetylcholinesterase inhibitors, product name are these. This medicine reduces the acetylcholine decomposition rate, so it prevents cholinergic neuron from dying. But there are some side effects, nausea and vomiting. This medicine is used for early AD, but Dopenzil is approved for late AD. In this picture, acetylcholinesterase break acetylcholine, but this medicine suppresses acetylcholinesterase, so acetylcholine can come in the neuron. NMDA receptor antagonist, memantine, product name memantine. Glutamate is related to this medicine. Glutamate is excitatory neurotransmitter, which means this makes neuron excited. But too many glutamate cause death of neuron. So this medicine inhibits too many glutamate in neuron and suppresses the NMDA receptor. In this picture, medicine binding this receptor, and magnesium ion block the way to come in. Now I talk about emotion-oriented intervention. There are three ways to treat AD. first is luminescence therapy, second is validation therapy, and third is simulated presence therapy. In luminescence therapy, therapists use past experience of patient. So we use a familiar item of patient. It can make patient mood good. In validation therapy, therapists use relative recording voice and play it to patient. This therapy can reduce challenging behavior of AD patient. And last, in simulated presence therapy, therapists focused on to stimulate center of AD patient. Now Hwanyong will finish this presentation.
Today, we talked about three important things about dementia. First, we proposed three causes of AD. Among these, we especially focused on amyloid hypothesis. Second, we divided symptoms into four courses. Finally, we talked about treatment, about medication, and emotional therapy. In modern society, there are many kinds of disease which don't have certain treatments. However, scientists are developing biotechnology and the causes of disease has been discovered. With these, they are trying to find the certain way to cure disease. The perfect treatment will be found later. We have to do it. Thank you for listening. Do you have any questions?